first story is titled, Am I the a-hole for not giving up my room because my half-sister wanted it as a Christmas gift? I, female 16, live with my mom and her husband. My mom and dad divorced when I was 2, and she and her husband had another kid, my half-sister, 14. I visit my dad here and there, but not often due to him traveling a lot for work. Recently, I've grown into liking anime and other things, so I asked my mom if I could rearrange my room. It was super plain and depressing at first, so it felt good to add color and lots of decorations, posters, LED lights, pictures. It took nearly 3 weeks, but it came out super nice, and it overall makes me a lot happier to be in. Last week, my half-sister went into my room while I was visiting my dad to celebrate Christmas early, and she told her dad she wanted my room because it looked nice to her. When I came home, my mom told me about her wanting my room, and I said no. She said it would mean a lot to my half-sister, and I could take her room and redecorate that one. I said no again, and that if she really wanted a room like mine, she could decorate her own herself with their help. My mom said she was just a kid, and wouldn't be able to do all the decorations like I did, and it would be simple if I just redecorated the other room. I was angry. My mom would even suggest I give up my room I worked hard for, and even spend my own money on everything but the paint. Her husband offered to give me money to decorate the other room without spending my money, but I still declined. My mom called me a brat and said I was almost 17 and should grow up, that I wouldn't be in the room any more than another 2 years, so it wasn't a big deal to give it up. Her husband called me selfish and said I was crushing his daughter's feelings and that was the only thing she wanted for Christmas. His words were, "Opie, how could you crush your little sister's dreams and be so selfish?" I get it's just a room, but I still don't think it's right that I have to give up something I worked hard for because she went into my room without my permission, something they didn't even care to acknowledge. My mom has been trying to convince me to give her the room, and I said if she takes my room then I'll remove all the decorations. She has been mad at me for nearly 3 days now, and I feel like an awful person for letting it get to this extent. Am I the a-hole? Editing to add, my sister isn't willing to decorate her room with me. I've offered, and she said no. She just wants my room for I don't know what reason, and I refuse to decorate her entire room by myself. Now for the top judgment. Not an a-hole. 1. Don't sell yourself short. It's not just a room. It's your space, your hard work, and your passion. 2. Your mom has it backwards. You only have another 2 years in the room, so it's actually a big deal to give it up. 3. Your mom's husband has it backwards. Your little sister is the one being selfish. 4. Disregarding the original owner's hard work and wishes and taking something away from that person shouldn't be labeled a dream in any situation. They're distorting everything. You're not an a-hole in the least. I'm sorry this is happening to you. All of this, I'm so confused about this. Like, why don't they just give them the money and ask Opie to decorate sister's room for her? Problem solved. Why would they go to the route where they hurt one child? Sister Yet is 14. She maybe doesn't understand that she didn't want a physical room. She wants cool decorations. But parents are old enough to know that decorating sister's room is all that is needed. I can't imagine what makes your little sister think she's entitled to your room. Hint, the parents. Not an a-hole. What the hell? It's your room. I don't even get why switching the rooms was an option in the first place. I mean, politely asking you to help your half-sister decorate her room too? Sure, that's a reasonable thing to ask. But just guilt-tripping you into giving up your own room? As a Christmas gift? The hell? I would say Opie could be expected to help her sister decorate her room, but with the money of the parents. The next story is titled, Am I the a-hole for letting my daughter celebrate Christmas despite my husband and his family's disapproval? My female 32 brother-in-law passed away in 2018 on Christmas Day in an auto accident at the age of 24. He was in the military, and his death was so devastating for the family. My husband's family no longer celebrate Christmas. It's become a death anniversary, and I cannot express how last year's holidays were. Family is supposed to gather that day, and we're constantly reminded the reason we're all there is not to celebrate Christmas, but to mourn my brother-in-law. No gifts, no music, just people sitting quietly. Instead of Christmas decoration, there were pictures of my brother-in-law and candles. We weren't allowed to cook. Any meal we received was given away to neighbors. All I ever hear is, "I'm sorry for your loss," instead of "Merry Christmas." My daughter, 5, and her cousins got to watch Frozen on YouTube since TV was turned off at my in-laws. They got told to turn it down. My daughter made her grandma a sweet Christmas card, and I ended up being berated for not telling my daughter to make a card for her uncle. This may sound selfish, but the kids couldn't be happy, including my daughter. It was awful. I suggested a different way to celebrate this year, but still celebrate. They all vetoed my suggestion, and husband's mom told him to handle me. Like, huh? I received texts from in-laws telling to come over for the anniversary. I told my husband that I want our daughter to be happy and not experience what happened last year. My daughter begged her dad to take her somewhere and do some activities. He was just wrapped in his blanket, telling me to wake him up at 3 p.m. so we can go visit my in-laws. I baked cookies but was told to leave them at home. He said he'd buy gifts, but I shouldn't tell anyone, and he'd organize a secret gift exchange between family members. We arrived there and it was the same scene from last year. No food or music or gifts. I was upset, so we just had to sit for hours while everyone else enjoyed the holidays. I left with my daughter after my husband argued, saying, "Suck it up, we won't be here next year." And I took her to the restaurant and enjoyed a meal and did some activities together. My mother-in-law started calling me to berate me. When I got home, and there was text from her and my sister-in-law calling me insensitive, cruel, heartless, shameless, etc. I got into an argument with my husband, saying I shouldn't have acted so selfishly and pretended like the family's loss was nothing to me and leave like that. He said that I should have made plans for another day, but I was stubborn. I argued with him that my daughter couldn't even eat at my in-laws, and he kept making excuses for them, telling me that I just ruined his relationship with his family. Now for the top comments. Not day haul. Losing someone on Christmas Day is tough. Of course, it will never be the same again. But turning the day into a week every year won't bring him back. It just robs those still alive of joy. And don't we all need that after this year? There are ways to keep his memory alive while celebrating Christmas. If your parents-in-law prefer mourning that day, they're free to do so. They just shouldn't force it on everybody else, especially children. We're supposed to gather at their house and sit there for hours not doing anything. They can call me selfish, but I felt bad for how my daughter wanted to enjoy the holidays like the other kids, and I was berated, was called names, and they think that I don't care about their pain. It hurts, especially since my husband agreed with them instead of thinking about his daughter. Not day haul. Your kid is very young and deserves to enjoy the magic of Christmas, especially after this year. You're not day haul if you want her to enjoy the holiday. I do understand that the family has suffered a tragic and terrible loss, especially since your brother-in-law was so young, so it's pretty hard to celebrate the holidays, in particular if they coincide with the anniversary. In my opinion, it sounds a bit too much because from the way you describe it, it looks like they're holding a wake. I'm not judging here. Everyone, of course, faces grief differently. But asking little kids not to celebrate Christmas and have a fun day is, in my humble opinion, kinda wrong. I hope you understand what I mean. I don't mean any disrespect. Absolutely. My heart breaks for the other kids, and I wish I was allowed to take them to do some fun activities. But their mother, sister-in-law, is against that. I honestly don't understand why the kids should be robbed of joyful times. They're kids. They deserve to enjoy the holidays just like the other kids. This isn't fair. Now let's read the next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my in-laws to keep their paws off my mother's house? When my 34 female father passed away 6 years ago, we were very well off. So my mom, brothers 29-26, and I ended up inheriting a lot. My brothers live abroad and didn't want the hassle of dealing with the property, so they signed their shares over to me. After discussing with them, I sold off all the properties except for a 1 BHK in an area that is at the outskirts of the city. That apartment was being occupied by a longtime employee of our family business, and we let them live there for free. With my money and some of the family money, I bought 2 flats, 3 bed, 3 bath, in a really nice building. It's got amazing security, a gym, a terrace garden, and a swimming pool, and is in a really nice location. I took 1 flat and my mom lives in the other. We are really close to our mom, and she's a super chill lady who has been the best mom we could have asked for. Our dad was very controlling and made her miserable, so we are determined to do whatever we can to really let her enjoy her life now. Now the issue. My husband 36 and I have been married for 3 years. He moved into my flat because his parents and brother live in a 2-bedroom flat and we have no space. Plus, my mother-in-law is not a fan of how I'm not subservient to my husband and I'm independent and run my own business. So we felt the space would be better. Now, 2 things have happened. My brother-in-law, 38, has gotten engaged and our longtime employee has retired and is moving back to his hometown, which means that his flat is going to be empty. I guess husband mentioned it to my brother-in-law, who is now saying that I should move my mother into the 1-bedroom and let them, father-in-law, mother-in-law, brother-in-law, and future sister-in-law, move into my mother's flat. I refused. At most, I could probably let brother-in-law move into the 1-bedroom flat, but he doesn't want it because it's so far away from the city. Well, my mother-in-law and brother-in-law didn't like that I said no, so they went behind my back and asked my mom if she could move. My mom is a sweet lady, and she didn't want me to have issues with the in-laws, so she told me that she would be okay with moving. I was fuming mad, and I told my brothers, and they agreed that they would not want my mom to move. I was going to politely tell them no, but when they came over, I heard my mother-in-law and brother-in-law tell my husband that he was not a man, and how could he not support his family? That I was a controlling witch, and my mom was just a widow and didn't need much in life anyway. She should be grieving and not enjoying luxuries. I lost my cool and yelled at them to keep their paws off my mother's house, and to get out of mine too. My husband agreed that they were really rude and horrid, but also said that I shouldn't have yelled at his mother, and that he was trying to sort this amicably. I was still pissed, and told him I wanted nothing to do with people who spoke about me and my mom this way. So, am I the a-hole for blowing up at my in-laws and then telling my husband I want nothing to do with his family? Some more context because everyone is asking. My mom owns the flat she lives in. It's all in her name. I own the flat husband and I live in. The 1-bedroom flat is also in my name because it's technically company property and I'm the CEO. Not the a-hole. She should be grieving. What the actual hell? Your husband needs to handle his entitled relatives. I agree. They basically went, "You're sad. So, this is mine." Not the a-hole. After everything they have done, and from a legal perspective, do not allow any of them into your properties or you will be stuck with them for life. These are opportunistic people, and the fact that they went after your mother goes to show they'll never be anything other than trouble. If I understand this correctly, you are the owner of your mother's house, correct? If so, and if she pushes the issue, tell her if she wants to move, she can, but you will not rent to any other family. You may want to establish a professional relationship with an attorney to make sure you're covered on all ends. So, her flat is in her name, but she won't do anything like move out or sign it over to anyone without getting a go-ahead from all 3 of us, me and my brothers. My mom offered to move out because she thought it would make this peaceful, but after my brothers and I told her to stay put, she will not push the issue in any way. Why does this sound so typically DC to me? Not the a-hole OP. I'm Indian and relate hard to the fact that your dad was controlling, so you want to do everything you can to make your mom's life enjoyable. You don't owe your in-laws anything. If brother-in-law wants to be a real man, he can earn and provide for his family and pay his own goddamn rent. And going behind your back was extremely sneaky. Tell your in-laws to back off and do what you have to protect your mom. Definitely DC. Initially, my mother-in-law was so proud of having an independent daughter-in-law, but as soon as she realized that that meant that I made decisions too, she changed her tune pretty quickly. I told my mom also not to entertain any nonsense from them. We've told her to just say that she will have to ask my brothers for permission, since the only thing they understand is male authority. Now, for the last story, am I the a-hole for not allowing my grandmother around my baby because of something she lied about when I was 15? I'm currently 28, female. I am married with 3 kids, 4-year-old twin boys, a 3-month-old girl. My grandmother is 71, female. Back when I was 15, my mom had a set of twins, boy and girl. She was put on bed rest because the C-section she had went wrong, and she lost a lot of blood. Where she needed help and I went to school full-time, she invited my grandmother into our home, free of cost, to help her out. At some point or another, my mom had threatened to kick her out because every morning, my mom would check on her twins to find my brother missing. My gram, who is extremely overweight, had been taking my brother from his crib and was sleeping with him on her chest on the couch. My mom told her multiple times to stop and she refused, so my mom threatened to kick her out. My grandmother's way of retaliating was to tell my mother, who had extreme postpartum depression, that my sister, 2 months old at the time, rolled off the bed and fell onto the tile floors. This never happened. This obviously caused extreme panic on my mom's end, which made her spiral because she was already suffering from the postpartum. Because of this, I don't want my grandmother anywhere near my baby. I lived out of state when my twins were born, so she didn't see them until they were 2 years old, and she was never allowed around them alone. However, now that I live in the States and have a baby, she has been harping on me to let her meet my daughter. I kept telling her no, but gave no reason up until last night, when I reminded her that I witnessed her causing my mom unnecessary panic. I would not be allowing her near my child because I'm not going to chance her doing the same thing with me. My grandmother lost it and really tried saying that that scenario never happened and that we made it all up to make her look bad. A lot of the family has also sided with her. She told everyone and says that I need to let things go and stop living in the past. I have been told that I am alienating my grandmother and that I am going to destroy her by not letting her build a bond with my child. Am I the a-hole? Now for the comments. Not the a-hole. That is a huge breach of trust. And the fact that you can't let the past go isn't evidence of you needing to grow up. It's evidence that your grandmother messed up so badly, you are still dealing with this 13 years later. My wife and I have no end of toxic family on both sides, and fully support each other and anyone when it's necessary to go no contact. Contrary to what everyone says, you can choose family. Agree very much with this. OP learned a lesson based on the concrete behaviors. Further gaslighting trying to say OP didn't see what OP remembers seeing reinforces that there's a high chance it'll happen again. All reason says OP is smart. Not the a-hole. You are under no obligation to let her meet your kids. In fact, you'd be doing a disservice to your kids by letting her into their lives, no matter how brief a time. Stay strong and protect your babies. I have been told that I am alienating my grandmother. Just respond, yes, I am. On purpose. Grandma isn't entitled to a relationship with you or your kids. The fact that she won't admit that she did that to her daughter means she isn't willing to take responsibility for her actions. She's still trying to manipulate people, and it's an acceptable behavior, not the a-hole. And that's the end of this video, folks. As always, leave a comment and hit like and subscribe. And if you want more of this content, turn your notification on to get updated on the latest videos. And I'll catch you with the next one. Stay safe.